Yeah, Patrick, we were talking pregame about the crowd here in Durham, North Carolina, and from Team 1 to Team 7, boy, have we seen a lot more fans in the stands here in Durham.
What a series for Peck, who is batting cleanup today. Green will follow Ritter here, and then Fagan, who's finally healthy, or at least healthy as she's been in her career in Blacksburg. Here's the 1-1 delivery down, and it's 2-1. Any advantage for Virginia Tech after having just seen Wright yesterday, many of these hitters?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they had success off Wright early in that game because they were prepared for her. Talking to Coach Young before this one, they're going to pitch by committee today, knowing how versatile this Hokies offense is.
Up the middle, and that'll be Ritter with a leadoff single.
And Emma Ritter, the senior, just keeps doing what she does best. Leading off, finding barrels. Here she gets a pitch on the inside half and just sits on the drop ball and shoots it up the middle. The senior has been consistent throughout her career, consistent this weekend. And there she shows it off with a leadoff single.
Her 49th hit of the season, which leads Virginia Tech, and now she's got a 17-game hitting streak running. She's been batting .529 during this stretch coming into today. Addie Green stands in for the Hokies, the senior from Suffolk. Green had a 24 on base streak, 24 game on base streak coming into the series. It's been a struggle for her though here against Duke so far through the first two games.
Yeah, for Addie Green, she is the hitter in this lineup that every single pitching staff is going to circle and say, we're not going to let her beat us. And so far in this series, Duke has done a really nice job of isolating the hot bat of Addie Green.
Yep, 0 for 6 as you saw a second ago, right? 2-0 with Ritter, who's got tremendous legs over at first. And now it's going to be 3 balls, no strikes. I'll ask you what I asked you, I think, the other night. Would you turn Green loose here, 3-0, especially early, knowing that you want to jump out and Duke's been so prolific in scoring runs?
It's hard, I would say, because Addie Green has been hitless in this series. You want her to get some confidence. So, yeah, give her the green light. If she sees that beach ball in the zone, go ahead and swing it.
Instead, it's high and in, and the first 2 are aboard. Are you noticing anything out of Wright that's a little different than maybe yesterday or with that situation before?
Yeah, definitely she's laboring a bit. She had 4 innings pitched yesterday, but 4 very high-intensity innings, and that can play into every single inning here today is how much intensity she pitched with yesterday. And also, we're moving towards the end of the season. We're in the second half of this thing, so pitchers all across the country are laboring.
Two-time ACC second-team member Fagan, line out to Gold. The throw, got her on a double play. Anna Gold with another sensational play in the field.
Yeah, Anna Gold showing off at the hot corner. Initially looks first, but the play was at second. She shows off the arm and able to get the double play. And if you're the Hokies, that one just hurts so much, knowing that you're just close knocking on the door here in the first.
Peck's had a really fine series. 4 out of 7, driven in 4 runs, had a home run. She's driven in runs now in 3 straight games. Last weekend, the Hokies played against Alabama in a non-conference top 15 matchup. Going to be a ball and a strike. It's the mental side of the game, in which Coach Young says that Wright has really made strides in. Had a lot going on in her personal life last year. She was close to her grandparents, lost both of them a season ago, and never really, from the mental aspect, got into the season until late. Could be trouble, and it will be. The Texas Leaguer to right center, and there's runners on the corners for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and when you're hot, and Bree Peck has been nothing short of hot this week, and there she just finds a hole, gets jammed up. A well-executed pitch by Jayla Wright, but that is how critical that double play was by Anna Gold to get Emma Ritter. You don't get that double play, the Hokies are up 1-0. and just gets inside out of this drop ball. A really, again, nice pitch by Jayla Wright. But that's the advantage when you're hitting so well, the outfield will play back. So when you miss-hit those balls in front of them, you know, it looks good in the stat book, that's for sure.
All of them are a line drive in the book, right?
Absolutely.
McMillan, 7-game hit streak. And she's had 4 multiple hit games in that span. 17 home runs a year, or in her career rather, with the Radford Highlanders. She batted .345 while in Radford. Been a big addition in the portal to the Hokies lineup this year. One of 3 players that joined VT through the portal. A couple home runs in the series for her, 11 of them on the season, and 35 RBI lead the way for Virginia Tech. 2-0 now to McMillan. For Wright, opposition is batting just .155 off of Wright coming in. Another opportunity here for Virginia Tech, though, to get on the board early. They raced out 4-zip, as we noted at the top of our program here today in the first inning last night.
That one just missing down, and these are the types of things as a pitcher you have to put in the back of your mind and understand and try to paint the picture of the umpire zone. So not getting that low strike, so just a small adjustment for Jayla Wright.
Francesca Freelick is working behind the plate. Here again in game 3, and now the bases are loaded. Second free pass surrendered by Wright here in the top of the Hokies first. And Michelle Chatfield, who's batting 6th today in the Hokies lineup, had a home run yesterday, 14 on the year. Pitch at the knees, called a strike. Chatfield, just a freshman, has a hit in the series and has driven in a run. Led her team to a state championship last year in Virginia. The 5A state champs, Wood Grove. Right, so 1 lofted in the air, but it's going to be played by Amaya Burgess, who's out there today. A fly out lead. Strikeout numbers excellent coming in.
Yeah, the strikeout numbers have popped up a ton since last year, but the home runs given up has jumped incredibly lower than it was last year. She's going to work upper 60s, and she's going to use a rise ball to all 3 levels. But the thing about Emma Lemley, she also has a drop on a changeup to keep these hitters off balance.
Came in to the weekend 3rd in the ACC with strikeouts. Picked up a couple Thursday. Came in relief, a bit of a calculated gamble with the start there. We thought it would be Lemley getting the assignment on Thursday in game 1. As that one is lined off the first baseman and then tossed. And it'll be an extra base for Giselle Tapia to start things off for Duke. That was a smash hit to the first baseman, Chatfield.
Giselle Tapia is brand new to this leadoff role here in this season, and she's done an incredible job this time barreling a ball up in the zone, getting on top. Lemley almost making the outstanding play, but it gets by Chatfield, and Giselle Tapia takes advantage of the extra 60 feet, something we've seen Duke do all weekend long.
So Tapia the single, and then the error from Lemley. And a lot like Thursday, the Battery, at least early on here, having some fielding issues. They did on Thursday, the pitcher spot so far here today with the error. Back behind the plate is Kylie Aldridge for Virginia Tech. She's a sophomore from Fayetteville, Grays Creek High School. And Davidson deposits that one into right field. And 2 aboard on the corners for Duke. Really good piece of hitting there by Claire Davidson, who's as hot as any player in the ACC right now.
Yeah, anytime you're batting above 400, you know you're doing something right, and Claire Davidson has done a lot right this year. This one actually gets off the end of the bat a little bit, but shows the strength and the barrel control of Davidson to wrap around this one and find a hole. And we talked about in the first half of the outfield playing back when you're hitting well, and we see it there with Davidson, finds a hole.
Infield in for the Hokies. Well, excuse me, swing by Amina Vega, and you talk about hitters that are on a torrid streak right now. Look at what she did in game 2.
Yeah, and she is the reason. She's behind Claire Davidson for a reason. They're working around Claire Davidson, and Amina Vega has stepped up to the challenge, and she is not disappointed so far in this series.
Davidson, by the way, had a hitting streak snapped yesterday, and she just started a new one with the knock a second ago. Look at Davidson over at first, 100 points higher in her batting average now that she's not pitching.
Yeah, and anytime you take one of those obligations off the table, it gives you the opportunity to practice more on the other side of the craft.
Davidson goes, and she's going to get caught in the rundown. See if Duke tries to steal a run here, and a really much better job of execution there. Annika Rose, the shortstop, took it that time rather than Fagan at second. Duke gave Virginia Tech fits on Thursday in game 1 of the series with that play. Yeah,
absolutely. Davidson's going to go, and it's Ani Rose who keeps her eyes on the runner at third base as she's running Davidson back. Really nice job by the freshman at short.
Out to short, out at second. The turn will not be in time. The ball was dropped anyway, and Duke plates an early run. Tapia in from third on the RBI ground out by Vega.
Yeah, the RBIs keep tallying up for Amina Vega, the sophomore. I like the decision by Virginia Tech to have their middles play back and go for the double play. Giselle Tapia actually got a really late read on that, able to score anyway. Virginia Tech was going to give Duke that run, but Vega gets the RBI.
Vega in the bottom of the 7th on Friday night. Initially, it looked like Virginia Tech was going to pitch around her. She ended up hitting her way aboard, and then they pitched around Anna Gold, who was 0 for 3 in the game last night. That loaded the bases, but it ended up bringing up Torres, who delivered the heroics in the Duke victory. It's going to be a foul ball.
Yeah, that was a tough decision. Of course, looking back with what we know now, hindsight's 20/20. Yeah, he should have walked Vega, but you never want to walk the winning run to second base. So they pitched away, and Amina Vega was just too good last night, found a barrel down the line. Kelly Torres ended up shutting the door with a double.
So strikeout there, so Limley on the rise gets the second out.
And that's what Limley is capable of doing. She'll work down in the zone early, then she'll climb the ladder late. That late break up and away to Anna Gold, misses the barrel, and Limley gets her first strikeout of the day.
Kelly Torres in the DP spot today, batting 5th. Burgess is on deck, who made the catch to end last half inning. She's getting the call today. And she'll be in the 6th hole. Freelick, Goddard, and Jennings to round out the lineup for Duke, who's already plated an early run here in Durham on a absolutely beautiful day. The wind slightly blowing out the left. We'll see if there'll be a lot of offensive fireworks today. Kind of has a feel like it might. Torres pops it up, and circling underneath is Fagan there after what looked like maybe a little initial confusion. Blue Devils take a 1-0 lead as we move to the 2nd in game 3. There's Trinity Martin getting the call today as the DP, batting 7th, so the bottom third of the order due up for Virginia Tech here. A couple years ago as a high school senior, Martin batted .652. Pretty good numbers.
Not bad.
333 for Martin this season. Used primarily as a pinch runner in her time, and looks like we're switching out the wristband watches that you are signaling in the pitches on this year, and it's another way to speed up the game.
Yeah, that's the goal, at least, is to speed up the game. Brand new technology this year, and it is a one-way communication device from the dugout to the entire defense, telling them what pitch is coming.
You think it's achieving that goal?
Well, not when the battery doesn't work and the watches don't work, but listen, it's the first year of this technology. I imagine it will continue to improve, but it is important for Francesca Freilich and Jayla Wright to know the pitch, so I understand the swap there. Makes sense.
Ball fouled off. It's 1-2. Non-ACC coach, so no one in the league told me before the season, though, that a lot of the sort of newer coaches were for that technology across softball. Some of the older, more established coaches maybe were a little slow to embrace it, might be the best way to put it. Of course, baseball has gone to it, and it's cut a ton of time off the average college baseball game. You watch a ton of it, so you know.
Yeah, absolutely, and what I like about the college baseball game, too, is the catcher's wristbands have a technology where if the pitcher shakes it, you can click another pitch. So that's kind of the next thing I think we'll see in the softball world.
Little tap in the air. Easy play for Jada Baker, who's at short. So Golden Baker on that left side of the Duke infield already with some action. Vega's at second, Toppy is at first, and then Burgess, Jennings, and Davidson. The battery is Freilich working with Wright. Look at Baker there. And now Kylie Aldridge is the backstop today for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Aldridge splitting the starts with the freshman Zoe Yeager. But Aldridge last night was a really bright spot in this Hokies offense, 2 for 2. Came in, swung it really well. A slower start for her offensively, but cannot understate her value behind the plate here today.
.5'10", really tall. 5'11", make that. Don't want to shorter an inch, right?
No, never.
Trust me. As someone vertically challenged, I know. 2-0. 54 games last year for Virginia Tech, 49 of them as the starting catcher. Patriot Athletic Conference Player of the Year at Grays Creek, about 2.5 hours from here in Fayetteville. Back up to Wright. A little underhand toss bounces it in, but nice job to spear it on the bounce by Wright in the circle.
Yeah, that's what we call PFP, pitcher's fielding practice. Anytime you can field your own position, you give yourself an advantage as a pitcher. We've seen Jayla Wright struggle with an overhand throw, so I like that she's running towards first base, giving the underhand toss. Doesn't quite make it there, but Giselle Tapia picks it and helps her pitcher out.
Annika Rose with 2 away. Virginia Tech continues to press on here without Costina in the lineup day to day. But Rose was part of a really competitive battle for who would start out of the fall on the left side of the infield.
Yeah, and when talking to Coach Pete DeMore about Rachel Castine and not having her, I mean, she had a handful of grand slams early in this season, had a hand injury. But he said, look, Ani Rose and Rachel Castine were battling for that position all fall. And for anyone who's been in a college softball locker room, you understand that those battles happen, and sometimes someone emerges as the winner.
And Rose, not known for how she hits the ball, is aboard with a 2-out single. Well, it's not anything with the defense. Rose with the glove is as fine as any shortstop in the league.
Yeah, she's been fantastic. She has a ton of poise in that position. So much responsibility.
Early to bed, early to rise, typically, right? Back to the top of the order, and Ritter. Now, I will neither confirm or deny a lengthy nap late in the day yesterday to allow me to make it up to watch March Madness. After the softball game, of course. I couldn't turn it from the game yesterday that Alex and Jenny did for ACC Network. This was a compelling piece of theater yesterday. Chad producing.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous show yesterday and a heck of a game.
Yeah, I think I even uttered the words in my apartment last night. Like, this is one of the best days of my life in terms of watching sports. Had the LSU Arkansas baseball game on, March Madness. Yeah.
I'm sure Thursday and today with me here is a close second.
Yeah,
was the best
really
day in sports.
Close.
Yeah,
really
close.
Really
just
close.
by a nose.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the better day.
I also got to sit in the control room and learn from the great Chad Lampman and the rest of the crew.
Did you call any shots? Did you?
I didn't do anything except
take
be in the
camera
way.
3? Okay.
I was in the way the whole time.
Gotcha. Ritter staying alive here. A ball and 2 strikes. Had a single, and then on that line-out double play that Gold took off the bat of Fagan, got her out at second base. Rose only has 1 steal this year as that one is driven. A laser off the scoreboard. Ritter turned on it, and Virginia Tech takes a 2-1 lead. Home run for Ritter, who gets Virginia Tech on the board.
Oftentimes, Emma Ritter will use the wheels. This time, she can take a slow jog. The Hokies jump out in front first with a Ritter bomb out to left. Gets her barrel under this drop ball and sends it off the scoreboard.
She had 2 homers in Game 3 of the series with Duke up in Blacksburg last year. At Virginia Tech won 13-8. Duke ended up taking that series. And now Green takes a strike. That was not wind aided by any stretch of the imagination. Had the scoreboard not been there, it might have been one that on the roll could have made the stone fencing around the East Campus here in Durham. This one going to be dribbled. No, it's going to be fielded. Vega with a sensational play ranging to her left. They say out at first, but hold everything. We're going to have a coach's challenge.
Whatever direction this one goes, you got to credit the second baseman, Amina Vega. I mean, that ball looked like it had eyes for the 3-4 hole, and the sophomore made that look easy. This one bounced over to the 3-4 hole. Looks like it's going to creep through, but the presence of mind to get up, throw from her knees, and a bullet to Giselle Tapia. Green with a ton of speed, and based on her reaction, looked like she might have been safe. Yep, foot gets down, ball to glove. Addie Green is safe. It's an interesting move to challenge that one here with 2 outs.
The challenge here.
No, and you got 2, and especially late in the game, the umpires can initiate a review on their own.
It's overturned. Still a tremendous job by Vega to get the ball and come up and make the throw from her knees.
Yeah, and a really nice job by Addie Green to find the front of the base. Front half, foot gets down. I think if Giselle Tapia, that's a very difficult play to extend to because Vega is so close to you, but she can extend towards that ball. I think Duke has a better shot to get Addie Green out.
Well, and maybe anybody other than Green save Ritter probably would have gotten him. And at the very least, you probably, as the ball gets away, I was going to say you may have avoided an extra base being taken, but now that extra base is in play. Ball bounds away from Freelick. And so Addie Green is on at second. She was left stranded at third last inning. It's going to be a pass ball, the second of the year on Freelick. Now Fagan, who is a player who is feeling a lot healthier, probably the most healthy she's been in her entire career, which has been a steady one, as we mentioned, and really over the last 2 weeks has started to heat it up. Hit the ball on the nose, but right at Anna Gold in the first.
Yeah, and this Virginia Tech offense is just sitting on that drop ball. They are prepared for it. They are expecting it. So for Jayla Wright, if she can elevate the fastball and get in on the hands of these Hokies hitters, it'll help her keep these Hokies hitters off balance. Because, Patrick, when you have a drop ball pitcher, I mean, nowadays these colleges have three-wheel machines that can just mimic that pitch, and for Virginia Tech, they have coaches that can mimic that pitch. You just got to drop the barrel and get under it. But when Jayla Wright gets up in the zone, very difficult to preset and hit that ball down, as we just saw there.
It's also a little bit yesterday in the game where Virginia Tech seemed to notice and kind of tip off to what exactly Wright was throwing. Had a much more difficult time with that with Lily Walker, it seemed, in the second part of the game. Nice job by Freelick to stop it there on the pitch down in the dirt, so the count is full. Green will be in motion here. Would score easily on anything that would get through. Peck is on deck. And I wonder again, are we having an issue maybe with the wrist watch there on the signal in on the pitch? A couple times we've seen that contact be broken with the rubber by Wright. It's going to be fouled off as she came inside.
Yes, sometimes there is a delay, and for Francesca Freelick, especially off of Jayla Wright, where you know she's either going to throw the drop ball or the change or go up, you got to know what's coming. Otherwise, you expose yourself to that pass ball like we saw earlier.
In the air, driven deep to center, and it's caught! Jennings! Ho, 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 wow! Jennings in center field.
Yeah, Ritter gives them the 2-1 lead, and it was almost a 4-1 lead. The Hokies fans thought it was going. Fagan reacting to the robbery by Deanna Jennings. Heartbreaking for the Hokies.
Two, Burgess fouls it back. Yeah, that was Virginia Tech. You got to think, man, what do we got to do?
Yeah, absolutely. But if you actually look in the back of that replay, you see head coach Pete DeMoore clapping, because he knows his offense is on right. They're barreling balls, 5 hits through 2 innings. It's a good sign for the Hokies.
That's strike 3, caught the outer portion. Second strikeout of the game for Limley. And now Freelick.
Limley paints the outside edge, freezes the freshman Burgess. Gets her second strikeout of the day, and more importantly, the first out of this inning.
High and off the plate to Freelick for ball 1. Freelick played in right field on Friday, and it's an interesting set of numbers there as far as where Virginia Tech was coming into the series as a staff and what Duke has been able to do this weekend.
Yeah, of course, you know, you look at that and you think, oh wow, Virginia Tech, they must have choked, they must have done something wrong, but I think you just credit the Duke offense. They came in prepared for these Virginia Tech pitchers. And it's been an offensive show really back and forth between both of these teams.
Nice backhand by Rose, heaves across the diamond for the second out.
Yeah, Ani Rose makes this one look incredibly too easy. Folks out there watching, I promise that one was not easy at all. The backhand, the fire over from the freshman, the second out of this inning.
Now the battery for Virginia Tech has the wristbands. For the Hokies, in the field they have the player card that you'll see, and you saw Rose go to there a moment ago. What are they looking at there?
So there's a couple different things. First off, you can have the pitch call, but you could also have a scouting report on your wrist of sprays and where defenses like to go. And a lot of times coaches will preset the defense for each particular hitter.
This is Jada Baker.
And there can be scouting reports for less than 2 strikes and then a 2-strike count. It doesn't look like Virginia Tech is moving a whole lot, but something to be aware of.
A couple years ago, Baker redshirted, missed the entire season. And 265 this year. Already 3 runs between these two. Inning and a half in. 2 down for Baker. And she chased it for the 3rd out.
Really good strikeout stuff. Her bread and butter is that 2-seam fastball that will work as a low rise ball, and she'll also climb the ladder with it. She's still developing the off speed, which will be crucial as she heads further down this season to keep these hitters off balance.
Peck was 1 for 2 off of Curd on Thursday in game 1. Got an RBI double. And then scored on the McMillan 3-run shot in that one. 1-1 here to Peck, who had a bloop single in the first inning. Kelly Torres is also behind the plate for Duke. 69 on the in-stadium radar. One away. Wright gave up a couple of runs, 5 hits through the 2 innings she worked, and I think you hit the nail right on the head, kind of labored through things.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think you credit the Hokies offense. The person we just showed you is Coach Maimu for Virginia Tech, a pitcher on the Argentine national team.
High fly, Jennings underneath. A lot more of a routine catch, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one was a little easier, but we're talking about Coach Maimu, Argentine national team. His best pitch is a rise ball, and he can throw upwards of 83 miles per hour. So you look at the 4 earned runs given up by Cassidy Curd in game 1, and I think you have to look at the preparation that Virginia Tech and the weapon that they have in Coach Maimu, who can mimic those rise balls with even more velocity.
All the Hokie assistants played for their respective national teams. And Pete Diamore said he played too, but he was kind of the run of the group.
He's a humble guy. He's a humble guy.
Chatfield, a fly out to end the first. Will bat with 2 down here, 1-0. And Curd right now is spotting her, hitting her spots very, very well.
Yeah, and for Virginia Tech, it's a complete 180 in your approach, right? Jayla Wright goes and she has late Bright down in the zone. Now Cassie Curd comes in and is throwing gas up in the zone. So who can adjust quicker?
That one touched 70. Yeah, the Tech bats, which have been pretty hot, look a little slow right now, and it's that adjustment that you noted. Curd to try to get out of the inning. And she does. Curd with bookend strikeouts in the top this afternoon. Gorgeous weather. Grab a blanket, some refreshments, or that is the place to be, actually.
Wow. Does that say Chilbo Schwagging?
It was upside down. If we get another shot of it, Rain will stand on her head to try to read it. Oh, a little seeing eye hit for Jennings. And she deposits the 0-1 right down the line. Boy, what a day that Jennings is having.
Yeah, she can do it on both sides of the ball. Look at her left foot. She's been called for out of the box all series long, and there she is out of the box. Our home plate umpire does not call it, and Jennings will take the single and lead off this inning for Duke.
Now to Tapia. Singled and scored in the first. Jennings a big break off of the bag, but retreats back. I was looking at some stuff with Tapia today. What a year she had last year with 50 RBIs. Second team all-conference in the ACC. Added a robust 362. She's not doing so badly this year at 320. It's a square by Tapia and pulled back at its 2-0. Over the last 2 years, now this spans 264 at-bats, she has struck out 13 times. Here's the 2-0. They put the runner in motion. Jennings on her way to third. Tapia, who handles the bat extremely well. And we have 2 on for the Blue Devils to start things in the bottom of the third. And here's that breakaway steal. Tapia is going to come back to the bag, though, and stay put.
Yeah, we saw a ton in game one, twice, that Kelly Torres was actually the runner at first for both times, continuing towards second. There, Giselle Tapia, not a ton of speed, but gets a pitch over the white and gets on top. If you're gonna beat Emma Limley, you gotta win on top, get ground balls. Deanna Jennings was going on the pitch, so she makes it all the way to third. And now Duke is cooking something up here in the bottom of the third.
Kelsey Zampa on to pinch run for Tapia. Claire Davidson. That was the 4th hit for Duke. The Devils 15-0 here at home, have won over 77% of their games played here. And Zampa will take second base. See if they credit her with the steal.
Yeah, really well executed play there by Duke. Really nice call by Coach Marissa Young to show bunt, because what that does is it moves the second baseman Cameron Fagan to first. It moves Ane Rose to third. Bree Peck up, so it leaves second base open, and Kelsey Zampa gets the easy steal.
Third of the year for Zampa. Davidson swung over that one. And this is some early game pressure here in the third after a pretty comfortable inning for Emma Limley. Driven to right. Gone! Three-run jack for Claire Davidson. And her second hit of the afternoon. Limley is cut down on the home runs, but Davidson, sometimes you got to tip the cap.
Yeah, and you have to tip the cap to the senior, Claire Davidson, a career year here. Number 7 is doing it all this time. Turns around a pitch up in the zone and hits a line drive over the right field fence. A 3-run shot for the senior, and Duke takes the lead.
Coach Young fired up in the background as Duke has taken the lead.
And Patrick, it can't be understated the importance of the game that Amina Vega had yesterday. Because in any other circumstance, if you don't have Amina Vega behind Claire Davidson with the first base open there, you are working around her. but because Amina Vega was so hot last night, was barreling balls to left and to right, you have to pitch to Claire Davidson, and Davidson makes you pay.
I want to work in a plug here, too. The Duke women's basketball team, they're in the Sweet 16. They'll play UConn. Duke was one of 4 teams to have, or schools to have, both the men and women's team in the Sweet 16. NC State was one of the other ones. And the Wolfpack of Westmore won yesterday. So Duke will try to duplicate the same out in Portlandia today. And for those of you not hip with the scene, it's Portland. Oh, and I'm not hip with the scene.
Really?
No, far from it. Far from it. It's 0-2 on Vega. Ball tends to fly out of here a little more in the daytime. And scramble for the fouled off softball.
Patrick, I was calling a game at Virginia Tech, and if you give a foul ball back there, you get a piece of pizza. You need to, put that here in Durham.
Bury the lead there. Now, sometimes you get like a piece of bubble gum,
right,
or even a piece of candy.
Yeah.
Or like maybe a free drink.
They need to do something.
A slice of pizza's pretty valuable real estate.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to Costco, get one for $2.50. A soda. Here, you just need a foul ball.
Or at Tech, at least.
At Tech, sorry.
Here.
Wishful
thinking. Boy, this one driven in the air. It is tunned, and it is out of here. Third home run for Vega here in the last 10 innings. For Lemley, the wheels have come off a little bit here in the third.
It just does not get easier through this Duke lineup. Amina Vega stays hot, gets inside of this one. Lemley knew it right away. Look at the extension, her controlled move forward. Nice launch angle and just a powerful swing by the sophomore Amina Vega.
Now Anna Gold. So back-to-back home runs hit by Duke, the 3-run round tripper from Davidson, and then the solo blast from Vega. Looks like Virginia Tech is starting to get a left-hander warm in their bullpen.
And Patrick, before this season, if you would have said, hey, Claire Davidson and Amina Vega are going to be your home run hitters, and you'd say Anna Gold is off to a slower start in that regard, I would have said you're crazy. But that just shows the depth of this Duke team. It can be anyone on any given day.
Gold stays alive. To put a piece of punctuation on the food for foul ball program that I think you're going to institute, or lobby to institute here. They do give away, I think, gum on the doubles, right? Bubble
gum toss.
And then on a Duke triple, 3 Musketeers. Now that seems like a pretty good trade-off there. And you don't have to give anything back. You just have to be here and hope that Duke hits a triple.
I think the next thing we need to do is get rid of this glass window in front of us so we have the opportunity to catch those foul balls. Or are you not interested in that?
No, you're here. You're sure-handed. I feel pretty confident. Popped up. Fly ball, right side, coming in, and that's McMillan. One away. And Kelly Torres moves from the DP spot to catch. 0 for 1 today. Torres had a huge at-bat to walk off the game last night, drove it over the center fielder's head. With the bases loaded. And another excellent season for a Duke player. Torres' average at 378 coming into today. Squares and offered, and it's a strike. Heath Walker, the home plate umpire. So Goma look out at first, and then Jacob Agee, who was the home plate umpire Friday night, is over at third. Nothing at 2 on Torres. Burgess is on deck. So after giving up the back-to-back homers, Limley dealing with the tough gold and now trying to retire Torres. This game for first place, winner will have sole possession. What has proven to be kind of a wild ACC as far as the standings go. Florida State entered the day in second place, Clemson fourth. Clemson beat by Boston College yesterday.
Yeah, a ton of parity in the ACC this year, and you look at teams like NC State and University of North Carolina adding new head coaches, and what a year both of those programs have had. This conference is growing more and more.
Torres retired on strikes. 4th strikeout for Limley, giving her 95 now on the season, and Amaya Burgess will be the batter. Struck out looking in the second inning. Right now, State is on the outside looking in as far as the conference tournament goes. So is Syracuse and Pitt. That was called foul.
Yeah, head coach Lindsay Leftwich at NC State did not get the easiest schedule in ACC play. At Florida State, at Clemson. They'll play Duke later this year. Just have been put through the gauntlet in the conference, but just last year or this year, the progress that program has made and the culture that Lindsay Leftwich is building is something that Pac fans should be very excited for.
Well, that's the big task that she was basically hired. That is, come in first, establish a culture. She wants to make it more like an SEC team, not only have the power and the ability to hit it out, but also use the entire field in driving the ball.
Yeah, what I loved hearing from her early on after she got the hire was, she said she wanted it to be a people-first business for her. She wants to build the culture and then deal with the results later. She's a process-oriented coach, and I love what she's doing over there in Raleigh.
Burgess going to strike out. Back to live action here as Trinity Martin swings through strike 1. Cassidy Curd in relief of Wright. She comes out in the circle in the top of the 4th with the lead.
Yeah, and a huge momentum swing. Deanna Jennings robbing that ball, hit off the bat of Cameron Fagan. Would have been a 4-1 lead by Virginia Tech. Instead, after the 2 home runs by Davidson and Amina Vega, now the momentum has shifted into the Blue Devils' favor.
She's Rain Wilson. I'm Patrick Johnson. Thanks for being with us here today. Beautiful afternoon for softball. You just want to be outdoors. And after some rough weather Wednesday into Thursday, as you look at a great scene, this will be the scene of the ACC tournament coming up in a few weeks. That is the 3rd batter that Curd has fanned in the first 4 she's faced.
Yeah, Kurt's feeling it. It's all parts of the zone. She's attacking early and she's climbing and expanding late. This time working glove side up in the way of the bat of Trinity Martin and gets her 3rd strikeout of the day.
Looking at the scores around the conference, top 7 Notre Dame and North Carolina, 8 miles, maybe it's a little more from here where we are, but 8 to 10 miles down the road in Chapel Hill. Anyway, 3-3. at the Anderson softball field. Notre Dame and North Carolina, as Kylie Aldridge is 0 for 1. She's the batter. Clemson came back today and they routed Boston College 10-zip. Virginia out of conference this weekend at Villanova, trailing 1-0 bottom of the inning. And you look at Duke and Virginia Tech, both at 9-2, sitting atop the league standings. Syracuse 7, Georgia Tech 1 from earlier today, and then Florida State leading 8-1 over NC State in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, Patrick, and although Duke has taken the series here in Durham, this game has a ton of implications as we move down the stretch. Both of these programs understand that. And so although the series has been won already, the ACC championship still needs to be won by both one of these programs or somebody else coming up from behind.
You saw the standings. Obviously you have Florida State with just a couple of losses, and Duke has a series win against the Seminoles. That was a huge series down at Tallahassee as Aldridge sends it out of play foul.
Yeah, and even back when Duke went down to Tallahassee, that series had huge implications, knowing the Florida State's remaining schedule was a little bit lighter than Duke's. Duke was able to win that series. But there's a lot of softball to be played, Patrick, and don't have to face Clemson. And those games against University of Virginia, part of the Commonwealth Cup rivalry matchup, anything can happen. Georgia Tech has been a formidable opponent all year long, but a little bit harder of a road for Duke in ACC play as we head down the stretch. But the beautiful part about this game is the game does not know who's supposed to win.
Well, especially the next 2 weekends for Duke, it's going to be challenging. North Carolina coming here. There's that rivalry factor. North Carolina offensively has been tremendous this year. And then anytime you go to Clemson, it is not easy. 0-2 to Rose.
And you're exactly right. North Carolina is going to come in here with a chip on their shoulder. They've had a lot of success this year, one of the best offenses in the ACC statistically, and they want to beat up on the crosstown rival who has the better blue. But then there's also a pretty deep rivalry between Duke and Clemson as the two youngest programs in the ACC and in the country.
You know, it was fascinating, too. You would have thought Clemson would have played softball as long as the SO Club had been open. I mean, it just seemed like a sport that would work. 1-2. You know, I had my first experience this year doing some sideline at Clemson football games as Rose lines through for a hit. So that's her second 2-out single. Yeah, it was pretty good. In fact, the first game I did was the Florida State Clemson football game. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. All right, Emma Ritter, who the last time Rose singled to extended inning, launched a 2-run jack. A laser off the scoreboard.
Only difference now is that was off of Jayla Wright. So can Emma Ritter adjust from a hard drop ball to high velocity up in the zone?
Ritter had a single Thursday in game 1 against Curd. Curd got warm yesterday but never came into the game. Lily Walker has been an ace out of the pen. I know the coaches on either side don't like that term, but she has been the one that has been, from a pitching perspective, the difference maker in the series. Slow dribbler over to Gold with the play to first. Ends the inning. Couple of strikeouts for Curd and a harmless hit. And we're midway through this one with Duke. Lead things off for Duke. 7-8-9 for the Blue Devils here in the bottom of the 4th. Strike 1 to Freelick. And she grounded out to short. Her lone at bat today. Really got the start behind the plate. Now has moved to the DP role as Torres has taken over when Curd came in. And just one of two catchers. We've talked about it throughout the series. It's been discussed, but just an embarrassment of riches behind the plate with Torres and Frelick. Not only how they handle the pitchers and what they bring defensively, but how they both swing the bat.
And it gives you the opportunity as a head coach to choose whoever's bat's hot. Right now, both bats are really hot for both of these seniors. Also saves the legs. As you move down the stretch, that is such a weapon. Coach Pete DeMoore said it best. It's not the team who gets hot late, it's the team who falls off last. So how can you maintain that intensity day in and day out? And you do it with two really solid catchers for Duke.
Well, that was a great line. Off a bounce, Rose retires Frelick. One away. And, you know, for Melissa Young, huge game today. Her team can hold on here. They have an opportunity to leave the weekend and go into Easter being in first place, as we noted, with pretty tough road ahead. Well, they will have, they win here, swept the Hokies, and be in first place. Baker wants it foul. And then that mindset of, you know, persevering and winning a regular season versus a conference championship, which Duke has in their collection back in 21. I mean, that's kind of a different mindset. That is, if you are hot, if you are playing some of your best softball at the end of the season.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It takes consistency to win a regular season conference championship. But that tournament championship we had in 2021 was interesting because we were not consistent towards the latter half of that regular season. And we had a turning moment at Louisville a couple weekends prior. We had lost the game to them, and 2 weeks later we actually played the ACC tournament at Louisville and had the chance to sort of avenge, you know, the losses we had had prior to that. So to your point, Patrick, consistency is absolutely key as you head down the stretch and into the conference tournament.
Rain, you had a hand in that.
Yeah, it was a good year. It was a really good year. It was one of the best moments of my career. I cannot lie to you.
So yesterday was the best sports day of your life. That was the best moment in your career. I keep noting that Thursday and today seem to be falling down the order in the best.
Listen, they're close though. They're top. I would say they're top 50. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Well, look, a lot of moments in life, so I guess that's pretty good, right? Right. Top 50 for today. I think that got a piece of Baker.
Yeah, Lemley wanted the call for leaning in. We'll see where it ends up. If the ball is completely in the box, the batter has no obligation to try to attempt to get out of the way. If the ball is not completely in the box, for example, if it's over the line, over the river, you have to get out of the way as a batter. There, it looked like it was completely in the box, so Jada Baker did not have to get out of the way, and she'll take the hit by pitch and go to first.
Jennings got a single in the third and then would score on the 3-run homer by Claire Davidson. It was followed up by a Amina Vega solo shot. 4-run third for the Blue Devils. I thought some of the description from D1 softball was, interesting, talking about the power of Tech, but just the overall offensive consistency of Duke up and down the order. That was kind of a fascinating comparison.
Yeah, there's been a lot of critiques about Duke's strength of schedule up until this weekend, and who have they really played? Really solid wins over Florida State, Louisville. They lost to OU to open up the series, but really not many marquee wins. But this weekend, they've really silenced the doubters in terms of their strength of schedule.
It's going to be strike two. You send Baker here, maybe turn her loose or not?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you give Deanna Jennings the opportunity to do what she does best, get the ball on the ground.
Line drive goes foul.
And they're going to call her out of the box, which will be strike 3. And something that Deanna Jennings has been battling all year long, all career long. Take a look at her left foot. It cannot go anywhere out of the box. There, it's nearly half of her foot, almost touching the plate. Heidi Aldridge. Come on, Blue. Blue is right on it. Our home plate umpire, Heath Walker.
So Limley gets her 6th strikeout. Top of the order here for Tapia. Throw down. Did she slide around the throw? Did not. So Tapia will lead off the 5th. It's going to be determined to be an out. So a big play defensively behind the plate there from Aldridge. And it's 5-2 as we go. Jayla Wright, who got through a couple of innings. Duke with a 4 spot in the 3rd. They lead by 3. Green sends that pitch back foul, and it rattles around the top of the press box here at the Duke Softball Stadium.
And take a look at Addie Green using the split grip. Hitless so far in this series, so making the adjustment there. And that split grip allows for a quicker barrel turn. And I like the adjustment by the senior. She's hitless so far, and she's been the hottest hitter for this Hokies offense. Any little adjustments you can make as a hitter to get you out of a quote-unquote slump.
Well, she'll be rung up there and go down looking. Despite reaching a couple of times today, it has not been a fun time in Durham for her.
Number 97, Cameron
5th strikeout for Curd, and that matches what she did on Thursday. Cameron Fagan now batting for Virginia Tech. Fagan, as I mentioned earlier, a couple of times on the all-second team last year, despite being preseason all-ACC, finished on the 3rd team. Player of the week, and got her first National Player of the Year distinction. D1 baseball or D1 softball make that. Her dad, Kevin Fagan, played football at the U and then won a couple of Super Bowls with the 49ers. She had 3 sisters that played P5 softball. One of them was an All-American, wasn't she?
Yeah, the Fagan family has just been in the softball world for as long as I can remember. Really good athletes, 5-tool players. Cameron Fagan can do it all, has power all sides of the field. Last time she was up, hit a ball 221, but Deanna Jennings was on the other side of it. But she'll drop bunts down, she'll move her feet. She has all kinds of tools.
Out of reach for Anna Gold. That Jennings play was pretty big time, wasn't it, with the catch to Rob Fagan? I mean, made it look easy. It was not. And Curd with another strikeout. 2nd of the inning. She has fanned 6 so far of the 9 she has faced here, and Curd is dealing right now.
Yeah, absolutely filling the zone on the inside half this time. And we talked to Coach Young about her being effectively wild there. Kelly Torres was actually set up away from the bat of Cameron Fagan. That 2-seam fastball runs arm side in on the hands of Fagan, and Curd gets her 6th strikeout of the day.
Peck, first pitch swinging. A heavens scraping fly ball that'll be taken by Davidson. 3 up, 3 down for the Hokies in the top of the 5th.
Versus Duke, only got through an inning, gave up 7. So you credit this Duke offense, but you also recognize the freshman pitcher can chunk it. She's got good stuff, and she'll work all parts of the zone.
4 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 6 strikeouts for Limley, who is right now on the hook for the loss. Tapia was batting when Baker was thrown out trying to steal second last inning. That's going to be out 1. Tapia had been 2 for 2 prior to that, and it's been the top 3 hitters in this Duke lineup that have been so special in this series, including Claire Davidson.
Yeah, the front 3 have really led the way. 17 hits, 15 runs, and 5 long balls for the top 3 in this lineup. They have really put the team on their back. So Mazzarone trying to get in on the hands of Claire Davidson. Lefty on lefty matchup. Mazzarone will work a backdoor curveball in on lefties away from righties, and there she's just trying not to get something over the white, because when they do that, Claire Davidson can get her barrel out in front of her.
And it is 1-2. I had this note from Thursday. Mazzarone's mom, Casey, was a barrel racing champion, a world champion in fact.
Wow.
Barrel racing. Yeah. That's a skill set, isn't it? Rode for Appalachian State. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Her dad played college lacrosse. Here's the 2-2. Davidson swung through it, picked up, thrown over to first. So that's the strikeout, 2-3 on the scorecard following the K, and that'll be 2 down for Vega. Solo home run for Vega in the 3rd inning. We'll see if that proves to be some valuable insurance for Duke. Mazzarone wants to manage farms around the Piedmont and wants to own a farm of her own. Oh, that one got Vega. Gracious. Came in. Vega smacks the dirt here in obvious pain. Whew. This is tough.
Yeah, talk about a tough player in Amina Vega. Sophomore has been lights out in the batter's box this weekend, but doesn't get an opportunity here. Gets one right off the left shin. And that one stings more than anything else. That's going to be a gnarly bruise tomorrow, Patrick. But Amina Vega, one of the toughest players I've ever had the opportunity to interact with and talk to.
It's the 8th batter that's been hit this year by Mazzarone. Here comes Gold. Had a hit and RBI in game 1 on Thursday, 0 for 3 yesterday. Outfield deep with 2 away in the inning. How difficult is this for Limley? And I realize she had pitched 4 innings before this, but you come out, you're out for 3 hitters, and now you're back in, and you got to kind of get into a rhythm midstream here, so to speak.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. Definitely. And I don't think she was pitching poorly. I mean, you look 6 hits apiece for both of these offenses. And without Deanna Jennings in center field, this is a 5-4 ball game. And so, it's definitely difficult, but for the junior, she's a veteran in the circle. She's been in these situations before. So I'm sure if you asked her, she said, no, this is easy.
Fires it across, goal taking, strike one. Was a workhorse in a big way last year, and also put a lot of pressure on herself. Feels like she has a little more support on the pitching staff this season. Gold got underneath the 3-1. Limley clears out, catch easy by Peck there. Blue Devils get a runner hit, but they leave that runner stranded. Corey McMillan to start things for Virginia Tech in the top of the 6th. Cassidy Curd on point today.
Yeah, she's been dominant. She's climbed the ladder. She used the two-seam fastball in on the hands of lefties, and she's moving it all around the zone. The sophomore has been stellar here on Saturday.
And quickly ahead, 0-2 in McMillan. We were looking to see if we could find this nugget in the stat world, but anecdotally we could tell you, there it is right there. First pitch strike, 7 of them. Great job by our crew, but she's working ahead of hitters today.
Yeah, that's something she's improved upon since last year. Sat around 52% in 2023 in first pitch strikes.
Did she go? Yes, she did on the appeal.
And the goal for this Duke pitching staff has always sat at 70%. If you look at the best pitchers in the country, they're right around that mark. Cassie Curd is at 67%, and she does it with pitches like that late in count. She gets a strikeout. She attacks early, then climbs the ladder, gets you to chase, and misses barrels. Cassie Curd with her 7th K of the day.
6 days ago had 10 strikeouts, a season high at Louisville. Turning on that one is Chatfield, and it will be foul. Loud strike, 0-1. Curd last year, 18-3. Had 159 strikeouts, 52 walks. Opponents are hitting better against her this year. But 79 strikeouts coming into today and just the 19 walks. Oh, what a play by Gold. Diving, throwing, picked. Yes, it is. All the way around, sensational defense. That has been a big area of improvement from last year's Duke team to this year, what they're doing in the field.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a point of emphasis, and for Anna Gold, who's been slower and colder with the bat, to not take it onto defense with her and make plays like that with Giselle Tapia across the field to pick one out of the dirt. What a job by this Duke defense. And as a pitcher, just gives you so much confidence knowing your defense is working behind you. And what a defense the Blue Devils have.
Trinity Martin 0-2. Actually, we've got a pinch hitter. It's going to be Luco pinch hitting here for Martin.
Yeah, I really like this move by Pete Demore. Maya Luco doesn't hit the drop ball nearly as well as she hits the stuff up in the zone. So to put her in here for Trinity Martin, it's Trinity Martin's first start of the year. Cassie Curd can be an element of surprise in how hard she throws and how much movement she has up in the zone. So I like this matchup more for the Hokies.
Luco 1 out of her last 15, however. That hit did come in this series in that stretch. 2-1 though for Luco. Spent the majority of her career as a pinch runner for Coach Diamore. His team jumped out 2-1 with a 2-run shot in the top of the second. This after they plated 4 in the first yesterday. Lost that game in a back and forth affair by 1 run, Duke walking it off late. The 5 runs allowed each of the last 2 days. by Duke are the most runs they've surrendered this season, not collectively, but per game. Prior to that, they had only allowed 5 earlier in the year, so that matched that number. Curd looking for her 8th strikeout here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 22 at bat. Visitor half of the 6th inning from Sunny Durham. Popped up, drifting back Vega. Inning is over. In order, go the whole kiss cam moment there. All right, 5-2. Torres is the batter. Fly ball, and it's the 1 pitch, 1 out to right. McMillan makes the catch. 1 away. We were watching that in the break there. The fan there with some kind of dessert looking, and then the dog is in the carriage, and she leaned over and.
Yeah, that dog lives a wonderful life, it seems. Has her own carriage.
Yeah.
Is getting some taste of an acai bowl, I think, as well.
Sarah Goddard will be the pinch hitter. But the owner leaned over, and it's like a French kiss.
You said it.
Well, I mean, it was. The dog was all tongue everywhere. Pretty good life, though, for the dog, isn't it?
I plead the 5th. I don't know what to say.
Your silence says everything there, Rain. 0-1, foul back. Came down and struck the umpire, didn't it?
It certainly did. He was kind of waiting there.
Goddard is batting .350 on the year. It started 13 games prior to today. Would think she would probably go into left field defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think if Goddard does get on, Burgess will go in to run for her. Just a little bit more speed.
Yep. Worked it to an even count, 2-2, as Limley continues out there. Just 78 pitches through 6. Limley has been tough out there today. Right now, she's kept Virginia Tech in it. And really, I think it's proven to be pretty tough out there. Just a few mistakes today for the Virginia Tech starter. Was lifted for 3 batters, but then returned. Goddard turned on that one, but yanked it foul. So the 80th pitch upcoming here for Limley. Virginia Tech staff came in number 1 in strikeouts in the NCAA with over 250 this year. And they had allowed just a 1.53 ERA in ACC play. That's going to be a punch out. And the 7th for Limley.
Yeah, Limley's working all zones today. This time catches the inside corner, thigh high. And Heath Walker, home plate umpire, rings up Sarah Goddard. Really nice pitch by the junior Emma Limley.
Frankie Freelick, 0 for 2s. Hit it each time to Rose at short. Strike 1 here, Virginia Tech. Looking ahead to the 7th, we'll have Aldridge, Rose, and then Ritter. Ball and a strike. Wind is blowing out and doing so a little more ferociously to left. And out of the southwest at 14 right now. Popped up, foul, ground, and it's going to glance off of the glove of Aldridge. Now, Coach Young thinks that the ball was in fair territory and wants to challenge it.
Yeah, Coach Young immediately came up and was curious about that one. Now, it's not where it lands, it's where the ball was when it contacted Aldridge. But either way, we play on, and Hokies miss an opportunity to get the third out of the inning.
Oh, that was wicked. And Freelick fooled there for the third out, and that'll... Oh, Carlos is adorable. Hokies have a pinch hitter working against Curd here. It's going to be Lila Blackwell, the senior, or excuse me, the freshman. All-state player in Indiana. So she'll hit for Aldridge. Blackwell's first at bat in this series, and it's going to be 1-1.
Yeah, I like this move by Pete DeMore. Not only do you give Blackwell some experience in the box, but you pinch hitter for Aldridge, who's struggled against the lefty Curd all day long. The issue is, as a pinch hitter coming against Cassidy Curd, is the movement can kind of take you for a surprise. So you have to go up there with a commitment to stay on top of her velocity. You can't swing to where you see the ball. You have to just on top.
7 strikeouts for Curd. And that'll be number 8. So, Rainey, you look at this 2 down for Virginia Tech when they look back on this game today in particular, and you really want to try to keep the best players from doing as much damage as possible, mitigate them as best you can. There's that number again. The Duke 1 through 3 hitters have been huge this series, but especially today with Davidson and Vega, and then it could have been 4-1 at one point. Jennings had the tremendous catch against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're facing a team, you typically will circle a name and say, we will not let her beat us. The difficult part is Virginia Tech had to circle 2 names this weekend, Claire Davidson and Amina Vega, and you can't intentionally walk both every time they come up. Those 2 have just been so stellar, and we can't forget Giselle Toppy at the top of this lineup in somewhat of a new role, setting the table for Claire Davidson and Amina Vega. It makes it a completely different trajectory of a game when Giselle Toppy gets on. Then you got to face Davidson. You work around her, but then you can't work around Vega.
Tegan Thrunk, and that'll be strike 2. You look at some of the others you have in the lineup. I mean, Anna Gold's apt to break out of it at any time and start to hit the ball with power. So formidable Duke lineup to deal with.
Yeah, Patrick, you're exactly right. As we go down the stretch, if Anna Gold gets hot, or half as hot as Amina Vega and Claire Davidson have been this weekend, this is a team to watch. You know, top 8 in the country, a lot of folks have them as going to Oklahoma City. I think they expect that for themselves, but if those 3 get hot at the same time, especially with this pitching staff for this Blue Devils team, it's going to be an issue for their opponents.
And as far as Cassidy Curd goes, day and night from what we saw for Coach Young on Thursday.
Yeah, she's been fantastic. I mean, she's had movement to all parts of the zone. She's attacked those lefties on the inside half. She's moving it. And she's really done it without a changeup, which is so impressive in this day and age.
Strikeout number 9. And Emma Ritter is the Hokies' last hope.
Yeah, this is the climbing of the ladder. She'll just get you to chase. It looked like it's going to hit the top of the zone. It looks like a pitch to handle, but just climbs and misses the bat of Tegan Thrunk. And Cassidy Curd gets her 9th strikeout of the day.
Ritter 2 out of 3, a single and a 2-run homer. Little swing, and it'll dribble through. Hit off of Curd possibly, and then Vega couldn't secure it. So Ritter keeps the Hokies' hopes alive here as the tying run is on deck.
And you know it's a power pitcher when you check swing a ball and get a base hit up the middle. The power of Emma Ritter that just gets by Cassidy Curd, and the velocity on the pitch of Cassidy Curd does the work there as Emma Ritter gets her 3rd single of the day.
So with Ritter, you keep it alive for Green. Fagan possibly Peck here, so don't write Virginia Tech off just yet. And Rain, I think here, attack if you're Curd against Green, because even if she were to hit it out of the park, you're still ahead.
Yeah, go at Green. Go at Green. Do not bring up Cameron Fagan. Do not bring up Bree Peck, who've shown a lot of power this weekend.
Torres asking the home plate umpire where that one missed. Heath Walker.
Yeah, this one looks like it's right there. But watch how Kelly Torres works down to the ball, and that slight glove movement down can distract an umpire.
1-1, popped up, fouled. Torres got rid of the mask, but could not make the catch. Now Torres handled that kind of like how you like to see a catcher handle it. Aldridge kept the mask on. Torres got rid of it in a hurry, and here comes Coach Young to talk to Curd here with 2 strikes.
Yeah, really nice job by Torres to get rid of the mask. Got to find the fence. And I'd like to see her turn that glove. And that's a play, if you ask Kelly Torres, that she says, look, I can make that 99 times out of 100. But I love the effort from the senior. She's grown so much in her career. I was lucky enough to be her teammate. And to see the woman that she is now, the leader that she is now from freshman to senior year, has been a lot of fun to watch.
Torres sets up behind the dish. Curd gets the sign. Curd comes to the plate. Hokies stay alive with Green fouling it back. Green had a hit. First one of the series back in the 2nd, walked in the 1st, struck out looking though her last at bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Actually gave that an error to Curd, allowed Ritter to reach. Fouled out of play. Huh.
Tough crowd.
That is a tough call, isn't it? So the pitcher the pitcher's position for each side has had an E charged against him today. Curd trying to get strikeout number 10. Would match your season high. On the ground, Vega. Over to first, the Blue Devils get the sweep